Well, our guest today on Absolutely Famous is Olympic hockey star Adam Immer. Adam played at the 2016 Olympic Games for Brazil in Rio de Janeiro. He plays his club and rep hockey in Queensland, based on the Gold Coast, and for the last 10 years he's been owner-operator of his own physiotherapy business. Adam, you've a pretty interesting hockey career you've got, mate. Just tell us firstly how you got into hockey.
First got into hockey, actually it wasn't my first sport. I think soccer was my original sport. I think a lot of young guys playing soccer where I was anyway, where I grew up, and I took up hockey at the age of 10. My whole family played hockey, and it was, I think I just got a little bit over soccer and wanted to try something new, and we always had hockey sticks lying around the garage, so I picked one up and off we went. Simple as that.
And the sky's the limit. And it's amazing that you played for Brazil. How did you end up playing for Brazil? I imagine was your first choice Australia, if you could have made that team?
Well, I grew up here obviously, and I was in the Australian system, so
yep.
I sort of grew up playing my rep hockey here, and I was part of the Australian under-21s sort of squad and team back when I was that age. But I was fortunate enough to meet a beautiful lady, my wife now, who's from Brazil, and I lived with her for bits and pieces over there, and became a resident and a citizen, and that provided me eligibility to play with them, and I just got a great opportunity back in 2015, and I grabbed it with both hands. Yeah.
What a great experience playing at the Olympics. Was it a bit weird playing for Brazil, or did they welcome you into the fold pretty quickly?
Yeah, I guess there is a little bit of a warming up process that goes on. Like a lot of guys from the team have worked really hard for a number of years to qualify for the Olympics, and so I know coming into that group as a newbie in 2015, if I was selected, that does mean that someone misses out. So it was, not rough roads, but I think I had to really prove my worth, and I was very happy to do that. And the team, they've taken me on really well, and they're a really good bunch of blokes, and I've continued to play for them. So I wasn't doing it just to get to an Olympics. So I thought that was a good opportunity to help the development in Brazil as well, and I've continued to do so, and I really enjoy it. I haven't regretted any moment about making the swap, and I've got all the backing from all my mates here as well, which is great. They all love that I play with Brazil, and no regrets at all.
What an amazing way to see the world, I guess. Yeah. You've got another tournament coming up soon. Tell us about that one.
So we've got the Pan American Games, which will be over in Chile, in Santiago, in sort of October, November, and that'll be, that's a huge tournament, one of the biggest tournaments for a Brazilian side for sure, and it is a qualifier for the Olympic Games if things go well enough. So
where does Brazil rate in the overall scheme of things? I know Australia's pretty much dominated the world for a long time. How does Brazil stand?
Yeah, Australia has. They're still sitting around that sort of top 5. Brazil, with sort of COVID and things have sort of stopped a little bit. I think rankings are a bit all over the place, and I actually don't know where we're currently ranked, but I feel like it might be around 20th in the world at the moment. Yeah. But I haven't actually checked in the last couple of years.
So what do you have to do to make the Olympics?
I'm still trying to work that out. Normally with the Pan American Games, the top 1 makes it. So, there's some strong teams there, Argentina being the strongest in that Pan Am group. But I think potentially coming second might qualify us if they have already qualified. So there's a few other ways to qualify. I'm not all around it yet. I think when I go to Europe in a couple of weeks with the guys, then that's when we'll sit down and we'll talk about, the road to Paris, and the options available, I guess.
Just win all the games, you won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, well, that's another way to do it.
So what role do you play? What position do you favour, Ryan?
So I play in the midfield group, sort of like a central midfielder. So I sort of just roam all around the park. Yeah.
Best spot to play, really.
Yeah.
So you had a fantastic career so far. You're part of 3 Queensland rep sides that won 3 national titles. So you've obviously played alongside some of the greats of the game.
Yeah, again, I've been really lucky with that. Playing down in New South Wales initially, I was around a great bunch of athletes, and then moving up here, I got an opportunity to play on a side that was just stacked. I think when I first moved up here and we won our first my first Australian championships with Queensland back in 2013, I think we had 10 national players, 10 kookaburras, in our starting 11. I mean,
Gee, that's powerful.
yeah. It was it was a really nice team to be a part of, and probably I'd say nearly the best team that I'll ever take the field with.
Yeah. You must have come pretty close to playing for Australia before you changed allegiances.
I don't know.
Did you get any feedback?
I think Australia's tough, right? Australia does we're such a competitive nation with hockey, and I was around the group and around that sort of squad, but just didn't get that opportunity to represent as I guess in the men's side. Was I close? I think I probably was, but you never know for sure. I mean, I always put my best foot forward, and whatever came would have, or whatever has come. But I'd like to think I was probably around it, but just didn't get that last opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, you're living the dream now, anyway.
Yeah, as I said, there's no regrets. I love what I do. I love the opportunities that I've got, and I've got the backing from two countries. The Aussies love what I do, and Brazil as well.
Fantastic. You're still playing club hockey. What about representative hockey as well? Who do you play club hockey first for?
So I play club hockey on the coast here. I play with Labrador Hockey Club. I don't play in the coast system. I play in the Brisbane Hockey League. Yeah.
So, what's the typical season in Queensland? Is it a winter sport still?
Winter sport. Yeah. Pre-season starts around sort of start of Feb, and we run through finals early September. So,
with playing for Brazil, what's the protocols as far as your fitness goes? You sort of self-manage that. You're not on a plan that the team's on, or?
No, there's a plan that the team's on. I do sort of sway from that just a little bit because we've got our own, strength conditioning work that we do here, and the seasons don't always line up. But we do have, each week I actually get a program from the strength conditioning coaches back in Brazil. But I've obviously got to line that up with how I'm playing here. Our competitions run differently, and I guess having my role day to day as a physiotherapist and in that sporting world, I've got a little bit of wiggle room within the Brazilian national team and with the staff to manage my load and to manage my training appropriately. So I'm lucky again with that.
So hockey in Brazil, obviously football, soccer is the hugely most popular sport. Where does hockey rank?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any ranking that goes after soccer and volleyball in Brazil. So you got your football, volleyball's quite big there, basketball as well. There's actually a few big sports in Brazil, and hockey ranks below those. There's quite low numbers still that play in Brazil, and the access to fields and things is difficult. So I don't know where it'd rank, but it's not up there with football, that's for sure. Nothing is there.
Good enough to be the Olympics, though.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and your wife, Tatiana, have I pronounced that correctly?
Tatiana,
she's been a real inspiration for you, obviously, and an elite athlete as well.
Yeah, she has. I think, to be honest, and I really mean this, without her support, probably back around that particularly 2011, 2012, when I moved up here from Sydney, there was a really strong chance that I wouldn't have even been playing hockey anymore. So she was the one that drove me to, play with Queensland and join that group, and I'm glad she did because so much has flowed on from that. And she's an athlete in her own right. She was a professional triathlete as an age grouper when she was younger, a professional swimmer, a national swimmer with Brazil, and she's still doing endurance events now. So she's unbelievable.
So you bounce off each other a fair bit in training. You train together.
We train together. Yeah. She drags me to the training sessions. So she likes, I do the shorter stuff for her, which is still long distances and things. But no, we definitely bounce off each other. I think I bounce off her more than she bounces off me. But it does help having someone else in the house that understands playing or competing at an elite level and the time that it takes to train and the understanding to travel and compete and do those things. Because I think, being married to someone who doesn't understand that would be very difficult. Yeah. You've
had a bit of cross training over in New Zealand recently. How did that go?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, first time in years we've had a proper break together. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary. We did a lot of snowboarding and a lot of trail running, and it was just nice to just do something different when you've done something for so long. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, your business, Adam, must congratulate you on that. You've been in the physio business, your own business, for 10 years, highly qualified at university first to get into it. So what was your interest in physio? What sparked that?
I think, I've sort of thought about why I did choose to go down that sort of journey, but I think it was because of, again, playing hockey and sport at an elite level. We always had physio as a profession that was around us to help us compete and to help us sort of get the most out of our bodies, and I think that was just something that I wanted to help others with as well, and I think that's just where that has stemmed from.
You picked the right place, I think, because the Gold Coast is a bit of a fitness crazy place, isn't it? So is that how you found it when you started?
On the coast,
business kicked off pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, I actually took over. My business started from actually sort of working with and then taking over from another couple of physios. So it was a pre-existing business when I came through, but it's sort of transformed into more of a sporting clinic with with my background and my interests. Yeah, and it's a great place to be because there's a huge amount of athletes on the coast. It's a big sporting hub here.
Yeah, for sure. And you get to, of course, being your own business, you get to be able to travel as well without having to take time off.
Yeah, for the most of it.
Having to ask for time off.
Yeah, for the most of it. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't go that smoothly, but generally, and that's a big thing for me, trying to find sort of, I guess, that balance, for lack of a better word, to be able to work and do the things that I love here, but also continue my passion of playing and travelling and doing those things. Yeah. So I think I've found that for the most of it fairly well. So
when you're not playing hockey or going for a run, what do you have other interests outside hockey?
I guess they're changing a little bit. I think I've really, with COVID, I think I've really sort of, I guess, not travelling and being home a lot more. I've really enjoyed just being at home, and so I've liked doing little bits of work around the home over the last few years, and I think to get away from it all, for us, it's really just taking the dogs on a long walk or getting in the surf. Again, lucky my wife is an avid surfer as well, and we enjoy the water together. So I guess when we're away from all these things, we're still very active in doing those things. We like to move. Just a giant outdoor playground, the Gold Coast. It is, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Amazing. So what about hockey goals, Adam? Any more in particular that you've got on the horizon that you want to do, you want to achieve? It's interesting. Initially, when I say initially, in the last couple of years, I was thinking that things might be coming towards an end at the end of this year after the Pan American Games, and I was going to reconsider where I was at. But I've sort of had a bit of a change of heart over the last little while with a few things that I've changed in my own life, and I don't really have an end date anymore. I think that for as long as I'm playing at the level that I want to be at, I want to continue. So Pan Am Games in October, November, and then I'm looking all the way forward to the next Pan Am Games, which will be over in Barranquilla in Colombia in 2027. So I'm sort of setting my eyes forward to that point. But at any moment, if I need to stop, I'm really content. I'm happy with what I've done. But I just don't want to put a date on retirement anymore. What's the point? Yeah, exactly. You've got a pretty good life balance by the sound of it. Adam, congratulations on a fantastic hockey career up to this stage, and also on your very successful business. Well done. Yeah. Thanks for the interview. Thank you very much.